As we continue down the road towards WrestleMania 41, there is a lot of good stuff that WWE is doing right now. When you look at some of the stories that we've got going with the likes of Roman Reigns, CM Punk and Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes and John Cena, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, those three alone have all been very, very, very good so far. But there's one feud that is really just not sticking with me, and it's really not working for a lot of the WWE community right now. And that feud just so happens to be the one that I was most worried about, and that is Jey Uso versus Gunther. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look into what their feud has been up to this point. And I'm going to leave it with one big question at the very end of the video. So if you want to know what that question is, you got to stay tuned till the very end of the video. Now, the first big issue that a lot of people had with Jey Uso taking on Gunther is that we've seen them feud time and time again now. And obviously, once we have seen a feud, we get a little bit tired of seeing it. And given the fact that every match, every feud that these two have had recently have all come in relatively quick order, they haven't really given us a time to really breathe. Take a look at Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, for instance. Yes, we have seen that feud before, but they don't do it in such quick fashion like they have with Jey Uso and Gunther. They managed to make Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins feel special every time they come together because it's not very often we get them together again. So when they are back in a storyline, in a feud, in a match, it feels special and it feels fresh and exciting. And I just am not getting that vibe from Jey and Gunther this year. And I really thought that an interesting angle to take was Jey Uso winning this year's Royal Rumble. I thought that that was possibly going to be the big moment for Jey Uso, catapulting him into absolute stardom and making him look like $1,000 going up against Gunther. And I'm not trying to hate too much on Jey Uso, but he has not been treated like a Royal Rumble winner should. Not when you have the names in this year's Men's Royal Rumble that you had. When you had John Cena, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, for God's sakes, Drew McIntyre was in there, you could have made an interesting story for all of those guys that I just mentioned. And you could have made one for Jey Uso. But instead, we've gotten nothing but him trying to save Alpha Academy. And again, no disrespect to Alpha Academy, but they should not be anywhere near the Royal Rumble winner. And when these two first kind of started feuding, I was actually on board because Gunther was talking about making Jey Uso's life a living hell until we get to WrestleMania. And up to this point, I mean, yeah, he kind of has, but not to the degree that I thought we were going to get. And I specifically don't like what they're doing currently with Jey Uso. Obviously, we saw him have the kind of weird finish between him and Austin Theory, and then on the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw, we had him tripping when he was lining up Gunther for a spear. And while I do understand that professional athletes get in their head all the time, they get into slumps, trust me, all I watch is sports. I get it. But again, this is the guy that won the Royal Rumble, beating out John Cena, beating out Roman Reigns, beating out CM Punk, beating out Seth Rollins. And you take a look at what they're doing with John Cena, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, all those guys, what they're doing is far, far better than what they're doing currently with Jey Uso and Gunther. And hell, you could even throw Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest feud into this. Similar to Jey and Gunther, that feud really was not desired at all, but as of late, there's some people who are starting to get on board with it. But as for this one, you cannot deny the fact that they are currently not feeling Jey Uso right now. When you go and take a look at the sheer amount of dislikes a Jey Uso video gets from the WWE YouTube page, that can be kind of concerning. So it's very clear that what they're doing with both Jey Uso and Gunther, because I don't think Gunther has looked particularly strong like he should in all of this. And Gunther hasn't felt like the Gunther that we know since he lost that match to Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. Ever since then, Gunther has not been the true ring general that we have known and loved. So I'm not only just picking on Jey Uso, I'm also calling out Gunther. Because again, Gunther really necessarily hasn't been all that great throughout this feud as well. So I really just think that it's bad booking, first of all. Again, I don't see why Jey Uso continuously feels the need to help Alpha Academy. Again, nothing against Alpha Academy, but they should be far, far away from the goddamn Royal Rumble winner. And especially given the fact that the last two Royal Rumble winners, being Cody Rhodes, went on to main event WrestleMania that year. And both of those years had very, very good feuds and very good stories going into WrestleMania. Now, there is still time. That is the one good thing about this feud, is there is still time to try to course correct whatever's going on between Gunther and Jey. But if they are going to do something, it's gotta be quick, because fans are quickly starting to lose interest. And especially when you have some of the other feuds currently going on right now, which are leaps and bounds better than what we're getting between Jey and Gunther, there's got to be something that happens, and it's got to be something big. Now, this is where I want to hear from you guys. First off, are you on board with Jey and Gunther right now? And if you are, let me know what's working for you. And if you're not, let me know what's not working for you. Because again, I really just think that there's a couple things to really pinpoint and look at as to why this feud is not hitting the way that WWE, I'm sure, was hoping it would. When you tack on the fact that we've seen these two time and time again now, very, very recently, I may add, just to the sheer just poor booking, in my opinion, and making Jey look kind of bad for being the Royal Rumble winner. As always, let me know all that stuff down below in the comments. And while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That link will take you to all of the social medias for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. Now, I will say for the next couple months-ish, Fridays and Saturdays are super, super busy for me, so I may end up missing an episode of Friday Night SmackDown here or there, and I may end up missing some of the PLEs, but I don't think I should. But if I do, I will let you know on my X page. And I am always going to be available for Monday Night Raw, providing something unforeseen happens, and again, if it does, I will let you know on X. But my main goal with the X page is to give a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about wrestling. Especially if you're like me and you don't have a lot of people to talk to about wrestling. So if you are like me and you're looking for a place to go and talk about wrestling with wrestling fans, consider swinging by an upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw, join in the conversation, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. With all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Both are free. Both help out the channel a lot. And if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here. And as always, stay tuned for more wrestling content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.